Misty. Let me get those mosquitoes out of your face here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Open Air Outdoors. And the thumbnail describes a little bit of what's going on here. This is a minimal gear camp out. I'm doing an overnighter, and it's minimal gear because I have an 800-meter portage ahead of me to make it to my destination lake. A lake that I've been wanting to go and explore and fish. I've never been there before, so it'll be fun doing that. And I want to do this in one portage. I don't want a double portage because I have to go in, camp out overnight, and then come out tomorrow. Now, minimal gear, everything is in this pack. And that pack consists of my shelter system, my sleep system, my food, my dog's food, my camera gear, my fishing gear, my cook kit, my camping gear, and also a slew of miscellaneous items that range from headlamp to knives. Actually, I weighed this pack. It came in at 29 pounds before I added a few more items to it. So it's probably sitting around 32 pounds. And even my paddle, for example, I brought along a paddle I don't use very often. This is a cary paddle. Cary because it's lightweight, because I'm carrying the canoe at the same time as I'm carrying everything. Single carry. So I have to configure the canoe in order to do my portage. So enough blah blah here. Let me get my canoe rigged up, and I got my bug spray on because the mosquitoes and black flies are out in full force. Let's make it across to that portage to the next lake. Let's see what's waiting for us over there. All right, on we go. You lead the way, Misty. Yeah, you lead the way. I'm seeing moose droppings all over the place. I'm on a marshy section. It's quite long, probably about 75 yards. And I brought the pack over. I just can't carry both because I'm going to sink up to my knees. And actually, it's so marshy, it's so wet that I'm going to decided I'm just going to skid the canoe across until I get to the other side, and then resume the portage. I just took a little 2-minute breather. Aside from that marshy area, this is my first stop for a bit of a break. I'm so out of shape that 800 meters with approximately 75 pounds on top of me. It's a little bit tough for an old guy that's out of shape like me. Mind you, round is a shape. But I'm pretty sure I'm 3/4 of the way through. And when I get to the other side, it'll be a nice relief to see that water. And the other thing that I'd like to add is these military packs, they're not the most comfortable. See your face? Come on, come here. Get those mosquitoes off of you. There we go. So there she is in all her beauty. I made it to the lake, and it's great to be on here. And I need to drink more water. So this is the lake that I've been wanting to come to. I found this trail last year. I came here, but I've never been on the lake. And because I like to explore, I wanted to come over here and do an overnight, fish the lake, explore the lake, see what kind of beauties we got waiting for us here. And I need to rehydrate. I drank one of these on the portage. And because this is a minimal gear outing, whenever it's relevant or whatever, I'll talk about what I've done differently with my gear. This is an example right here. This is the Be-Free Betadine. And this is my most packable lightweight water purification. And my fishing gear, I usually bring an entire tackle box, which is actually a tackle bag. But this trip I have 2 containers only. I have one full of plugs and one full of spoons. That's it. That's all I have. So I have to make do with that. I should be okay. I did my research on this lake, and I found that this lake is supposed to have lake trout and pike, this lake. And also, again, because I'm minimal gear, I usually bring a fish finder. I have a portable unit, and it works great. I love it because you can chart your depth. Yeah, you can find your structures, rock piles, these sandbars, these kinds of things, which help with the fishing. And I tried to find a bathymetric map for this lake, and I couldn't find it. As far as I know, there are none. Well, I did find a campsite. There's a marker right there. There is a campsite, but there is absolutely nothing to work with over here. Let's go have a look. This is what they call, or somebody calls, a campsite. Let me give you a little pan. So this is supposed to be a fire pit, I guess. You got one log to sit on. And there is actually one spot maybe I could make do with my tent right there. And that's it. I mean, it's doable, especially because I'm by myself. And because I'm doing a minimal gear loadout, I do have with me a tent that is a one-person tent. It's a really small tent, and I bought that tent specifically for these kinds of situations where I'm going in places where I don't know if there's anybody that goes there, if anybody camps out there, if there's anywhere to pitch a tent. It has a very small footprint, so I can make do here. But essentially what this is basically there's a portage here, goes around a set of rapids up to another lake by the looks of it. And basically, it's not really a campsite. It's the entrance to a portage trail. But I do have a plan because the thing is, it's very well sheltered from the wind here. And that may sound like a good idea, but it's not. Because the black flies and the mosquitoes are really bad right now. And there is a tiny island out on the lake, and I'm thinking I'm going to pitch camp on that island just so I can have that constant flow of air so I'm not getting eaten alive. So I'm going to hit the water. I still got some more lake to explore and some fishing to do, and I'm going to see maybe there's another place I can camp out. Out there, that little tiny island right there, there's a little small cluster of trees. The shoreline around that island is so that I can get in there with the canoe. Most of this lake, the shoreline is completely rocky, and I'm thinking I'm going to camp out on that tiny island. And I'm okay with that because I want the wind. I really want to get out of these bugs. And I'm not planning to make big campfires. I'm probably just going to use my twig stove for a fire. So I don't need to go procure a pile of firewood. All I need is to be on that island and a flat enough surf area to put up my small one-person tent, and I'll be good to go. Well, I made it back to my little island. I took the time with the tomahawk and I cleaned off a lot of the branches, the low branches, the pokies, so I can move around a little bit. This is so tiny, but the camera might pick up the wind noise, and that's why I'm here. I'm going to pitch my tent over there. It's a little bit lumpy, but I'll make it do. I'll make it work. And I'll probably set up to eat right here where I'm standing now. I got my pack. Time to open that up. Get the tent set up, but it is it's probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon there now. And probably dig out a granola bar, have a little bite to eat, and probably chill out for the rest of the day. I'm not too sure. If the winds die out, maybe I'll go back out and do some fishing. If not, I'm just going to hang out here tonight. Misty's tucked away in the moss back there. She's chilling out. And yeah, it's bug free, so it's perfect. Well, there we have it. That's my my one-person tent. It's awesome. Doesn't have a very big footprint. It's a small tent. And when you need a small tent, a small tent is what works. Now, as far as my sleep system, in keeping with the minimal gear, this is what I have. This is a blanket. That's a downfill blanket. It's a new gear that I bought this winter, and I didn't get to try it out properly yet, So tonight's the night. And although a closed cell foam pad, which I have, is the lightest gear, it's not the smallest, I still brought a blow-up mattress. The Climate Static V is what I got here today. It packs down really small. Like, this is literally like the size of an Algene bottle. And I do require a little bit of comfort, so that's why I have a sleep pad, a proper one. And of course Misty's going to be looking to be laying on it as soon as it's blown up. She's right behind the camera. She's looking at me. She's anticipating the mattress. So let's get Misty all tucked into the tent. You ready to go in? And also, keeping with the minimal gear, I brought no chair, no stool, no nothing. But when you have a Swift canoe with a removable seat, you can make yourself a seat that is actually quite comfortable. So it's been a few hours have gone past. I've been out on the water and paddled around. The wind's picked up. It was a little bit hard. Put the line in. Didn't catch anything. Finished my excursion around the lake. It's a small lake, so I paddled the entire perimeter. And what I found is the evidence of people fishing all winter long. On 3 separate locations, I found piles of firewood sitting on the shoreline. And that's from people coming in on the winter. And they cut firewood with a chainsaw, nice rounds all piled up on the shore, ready to be split. In one case, it was split. And now that the winter is over, now that wood is actually sitting on the shoreline, partially in the water. For me, well, I got my own pile of firewood. It's there. And I'm only going to be burning twigs tonight. I'm not going to be actually making a campfire. So the next thing is break out the twig stove and the cook kit. I'll show you what that's all about. And I have to get ready to start eating. I'm going to go look for some rocks to prop it up on. I may have to jump in the water and go look for rocks. Something just to keep it off the ground, because the bottom, the floor of this island is full of debris, twigs everywhere, pine cones, you name it. And this wind, I have to do something to shield the wind. Maybe I'll drape a jacket across these 2 little trees here. Something to shield myself off a little bit. The Pathfinder cup. This is an awesome unit. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I have a couple of tea bags for later on. After supper, I'm probably going to make myself a large cup of tea. I also have a second cup, smaller cup, that I'm going to use tomorrow morning for my coffee. I have 1 cup to use to boil water in, and then the other cup to make coffee in. So I have a chili mac and beef, Mountain House. That's going to be my supper tonight. And then I have strawberry granola with milk. That's going to be my breakfast tomorrow morning. And then to supplement that, I have some granola bars And I have some beef jerky, Jack Links. Oh, Misty just eyeballed me. Hey, Misty? Yeah, because you know what the beef jerky bag looks like, eh? There you go. And of course I have a bag of food for Misty's food. Perfect. This is probably the first time this rock's been moved in 40,000 years. I heard a rumble of thunder, and there's some gray clouds over there. We'll see what happens. Look for the oxygen tab. Oh, there it is. Don't eat it. Well, that filled the gap. Oh, that's actual rain. You want to go in the tent? Come on, move. Oh. It's really raining there right now. I put Misty in the tent because I don't want a wet dog. Me, whatever. I could deal with it. As long as it doesn't last too long. I'm going to give it 3-4 minutes. If it doesn't ease up, then I'll turn in myself. Some of you may have noticed as well, this is part of the minimal gear outing, is I don't have my main camera. Unfortunately, my main camera is big, it's bulky, it's heavy. When you add the mount, the external microphone, extra batteries, it's a lot to lug around. It's actually adds a lot. So I'm doing everything with action cams, and I'm not big on that. I really not like filming everything with an action cam. When I see videos, like I watch other people's content, obviously, and you can tell when somebody's doing an entire videos with a GoPro. The quality suffers. As good as these things can be, they have their problems, they have their issues. And you can tell by the end of long before the video is over, you know, you see the fisheye, the white balance is off, the shadows are pitch black. GoPros and action cams in general, they're awesome tools, but they're not the greatest thing either. Misty, let's go. Come on. Come on, Misty, let's go for a ride. Yeah, you get in there. Good girl. Well, I'm packed up. We're on our way. And I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on this little beautiful little lake. I've paddled it, I explored it, I fished it. All right, I'm back to my original lake. Yeah, poor girl. The flies are eating us. Misty's trying to get away. I'm about to get into some wind. There'll be some relief from the flies.